Good morning, all of you. My name is Raji Joseph. I'm an application engineer from Leith, Australia. Okay. So next 20 minutes or 20 to 30 minutes, what I'm going to show you to cover a new feature, AR design share in different PPC products. Okay. So in terms of the agenda, before that, you can see, as I mentioned, there is four big themes for Creo 6. Of course, the productivity improvement. What I'm really focusing here is the AR side of it, augmented reality. Okay, who in the audience is actually used Creo AR? Okay, yeah, a few people. Yeah, that's good. Okay. All right. So in terms of the agenda, so we will start with a quick demo of the AR experience that's actually created before Creo. Okay. Then we will have a chat about why we need it. Okay. What is the advantage we are using AR experiences directly from Creo, and we will actually go a little bit deep dive into the functionality and how it works. Okay. So let me show you. How an AR experience from Creo will work.
Okay. Dodgy cable.
That's right. All right. So can I go back to Creo? Show model. Okay. So I'm going to use a very similar model for my experience. Okay, so in Creo we can directly now go to the tools menu and I can actually create a augmented reality directly from here. Okay, we will go to that. We will have a look at the functionality a little bit later on. But before that, let us have a look how that experience looks like. So what I got here is a QR code which actually directly generated from Creo. Okay. Usually we can send it through email and directly scan from a machine, but I got here printed here. So all I need to do is just do a scanning of that QR code. Okay. In a minute or so, what I will do is you can already see that model. It's quite a big model, but it actually it's already generated. All I need to do now is look for a flat surface. Okay, just look for a horizontal surface. I can now tap it and I can actually place it on the here on the live world. Okay, so you can see I can actually go. It will give you a very clear understanding of how this model looks like. Okay, I can actually go into the detail. I can actually look at the details of the conduct here. All those models here. I can see every part, every details of the parts here. How every part is actually connected to in context of another component. I can actually walk around this model. Okay, I can walk around. Again, I can actually walk through the model. If you look at here, I can actually walk through and I can actually go into the details of this model here. So just to get the very good understanding of how the inside looks like. Okay, so if you look into it, if I really, before I take this model into production, before I make it, if I really would like to see this much detail, the only way previously was to create a prototype. Very expensive exercise. Okay, but with this new technology, I can actually now get every information or all details of this model on the real world. Okay. All right. So let us see how we actually do this. So good thing here is it won't take too long to actually create that from Creo. Okay, so in summary, all I need to do is give me a second. Give me a second. Sorry about that. essentially all I have to do here is publish an AR experience directly from Creo. Okay, and so all I don't need to actually send any data, any physical file. Okay, all I need to do is send a link or a QR code which is actually connected to that data in the cloud. Okay, so if myself or somebody else actually would like to actually have a look into that model, all they need is a mobile device or maybe a Microsoft HoloLens. Okay, and then they can actually see that model in real world in 1-to-1 scale. Okay. It takes next to no time, to be honest, to create that in Creo. So and the good thing now is with the Creo 4 onwards, with the Creo 4 and Creo 5 and Creo 6, it is actually available with every licenses of Creo. So all of you who are actually using Creo from Creo 4 onwards got access to that feature. Okay, so it's not only on Creo, it's actually in Creo Parametric, which most of you guys are using, Creo View. Okay, that is actually the viewable which from PTC, which I remember Kashyap was explaining before. Okay, different versions of Creo View, like Creo View Lite, which actually comes through Windchill, or a full version of Creo View MCAD, Creo View MCAD. Okay, and also there is another version of Creo View which is an express version. It is free, which can download it from PTC, and for that Creo View Express, this functionality is not included. Okay, but it's included with the Creo View Lite and also with MCAD. And also for those customers who are using Creo Elements Direct, again, they got that. And every users of Windchill, okay, and also got access to the same functionality.
How limited is it, Tony?
Yeah.
How limited is it now? It used to be
Only 6 models.
Yes, that's what I'm going to
next slide.
Oh, sorry.
2 more slides.
Okay. So before I get into the functionality itself, because being is a new feature, this is a new technology, I would like to actually share. I would like to explain how this actually can be useful in the industry. Okay. As you know, every of our design in the design industry, everyone actually share models. Okay. Maybe you actually convert into a step file, or maybe to just a Creo view. Okay, or send it in a different format, and then we actually need to send it through some means like an email, or maybe I will just put it in a Dropbox or OneDrive, and then send us a link. And everyone actually need to share a design at some point. Okay, maybe that can be for a concept that will be sent to a customer, or maybe for a design validation and whatever. Okay, we all need to do it. The only problem is that in order to actually create and package that and share it takes time. Okay, with the Creo AR share, we can actually do it in no time. It's actually will take less than maybe a minute or two to create that, so that everyone can easily visualize your 3D model. Then once I actually send that data out of my door, okay, I don't have any control over the data. Okay, so potentially I'm risking my IP. Somebody can actually go and steal it if you like. Okay, so with the Creo View AR experience, we are not really sending any data. Okay, so again, we are actually protecting our IP. Then another use case here, if I'm sending externally my models to a company, okay, as a physical file, I want to make sure who are actually receiving that model have the appropriate software to view it. Okay, appropriate skill to actually review this one. Okay. The other one more thing I would like to actually point out here is another big thing is to visualize that is in real world to 1-to-1 scale. Sometimes we can actually see a model in a 3D CAD software. We can actually spin around. We can actually go into the details. But sometimes it's a bit hard for us to actually understand that model in the real world. And that is the reason we actually do have expensive 3D printing and prototype and so on. Okay, so this comes to your question. Okay, so when PTC introduced this technology in Creo 4 M10, okay, there was a limitation of 5 models. Okay, quite recently with the Creo 6 launch, that's being changed to 10 models, increased to 10 models. Okay, And also, there's really another thing is like there's two access mode now. Okay, one is public and it's a restrictive mode. Okay, so in the restrictive mode, we can actually set the users and need to authenticate with the username to view the model, which is a really nice thing. Okay. Again, system will automatically generate a QR code, like which I showed you before. Previously, we need to manually generate a QR code. Okay, and also support for HoloLens is being introduced. Alright, so let us have a quick look of Creo parametric and Creo view and into how it works. Okay, so you can see what you need to actually set a target. So target is nothing but we actually need to set an orientation to set where the model is going to touch the ground. Okay, so we can actually do a spatial target or thing mark. Okay. So what that spatial target is for those users who want to quickly place a model on a horizontal surface, like exactly what I actually showed you before, we can actually use a spatial target. Or if some people actually want to actually show that on a thing mark. Thing mark is an image target, if you like. Some days we actually show that on a wall. Okay, not a horizontal surface. Okay, and show that how it looks like on a vertical surface. We can actually print that one and we can publish that one to a thing mark and actually place the AR experience on a thing mark. Okay, spatial target is relatively a new technology, so you probably need a compatible device for that. And with the thing mark, most of the wide range of devices are supported with the thing mark. Okay. Again, it is very similar to see that AR experience in a spatial target. Another good thing about thing mark is if somebody wants to actually lay out a AR experience on a physical, superimpose a model into a physical model, of course thing mark is the way to go. Okay, so in 1:1 scale, if you want to superimpose that model, it is thing mark is we can actually use the thing mark. Okay, I'll show you a little bit in my actual demo. So with the AR design shape with the windshield, it's exactly the same feature. It's works exactly the same way. Now from the information menu from the windshield, we can actually publish the experience. Okay, then it will ask you what quality of the models needs to be published. Again, it's actually published as a Creo view model to the cloud, and from there, if you go to the quick links page of the windshield page, there's an option there for my experience. And there you can place it or using a spatial target. Same feature in Creo view as well. Okay, you can directly publish from Creo view. Okay, but with advantage, just let me go back to one slide before. Windshield is supported with any other CAD system. Okay, so if you are using Windshield for using other CAD system, also you can directly publish because we are actually publishing the Creo view format of that model. Okay. Let me go show you again from Creo view. We can publish directly, and it's a features wise. It's the same feature. The workflow is exactly the same. Now viewing the experience. So you must have an app called View4Your View. Who else in this audience got View4Your View installed? And most of you. Okay. So if you have installed it, just search for View4Your View. Okay, and from there, so that's all you need to do. From there, you can actually use this QR code or thing mark to view your experience. You can actually, from the experience that actually comes from Creo, you can actually can rotate, you can spin the model, you can actually spin around, you can actually rotate the model and so on. All right, let me quickly go back to Creo. Okay, Alan.
That second screen is a bit low res.
Okay, yeah. All right. So what I'm going to do here is I would like to actually publish this model as an AR experience here. So let me open this model in a window of its own. Okay. So now what I'm going to do first is I'm going to set this as a thing. I would like to actually set this as a thing mark. Okay, first of all. Okay. So doesn't matter. The workflow is actually exactly the same. Okay. So in a way, what we are doing is we are orienting the model. Okay. We are orienting the model orienting the model so that we can set where this model is going to touch or meet the ground. Okay. So when you actually place this thing mark here, you can put some default orientations here, like a different with a back view or a left view or front view or something like that. Okay. You can also you got a custom placement as well here. You can actually go and place it custom. You can also change the scale. For example, I can actually set it with a small size here. Then I can actually go and place it in a custom plane. Like I can actually go and select a surface here, and maybe I can change the width here to a really small size. Okay. So when we then we can also accurately position with some references here, same like we place a hole on an axis. Okay. Because it is actually the width, I'm defining here the width as 25, and if I actually print that one in the correct size, so the advantage I will get here is I can superimpose this model once that model is created. I can actually superimpose this AR experience on top of that, because both that thing mark is to 1:1 scale. Okay, or I can also place that as a spatial target here. Okay, so I can actually place that as a spatial target. Again, I can reposition. I can place it wherever I want to. Then. When you actually place either a thing mark or a spatial target, you can see that it comes out here in the model tree. You can always go back and redefine that. You can directly click here to publish it straight away. Okay. So in this case, you can directly click here and you can I would like to actually publish this for using a spatial target. So when I publish, it actually will ask for some credentials. Okay, which is nothing but a PTC username and password. Okay, you don't need to be a customer account. In PTC we got different levels of access of PTC users, like a basic level, that is anyone in the world can go and create a basic user, or a customer level. So this is nothing but a nothing but a basic account. Okay, and then it will quickly then before I publish, it can be set for the quality of the viewable. Okay, I can usually set into view, but if it's a really large model, of course I can set into a lower resolution. Okay, it's actually the resolution of the Creo view which is actually going to be published. Okay, so when I actually publish, what it will do is, let me select the spatial target before I publish. It actually in the background it will convert into a Creo view format. Okay. And then you can see Creo view files are being created, and then upload that one to the cloud. All right. So then all I need to do here is come here to the manage model. Every user account got a dedicated page on PTC server. Okay, and it will show you all those models which we actually published so far. Like we are actually use the personal account. For the personal account, the limitation is just the 10 models, so you can see all those 10 experiences are published so far. Okay, so again, the nice thing again here is you can actually do the access control to a public or a restricted. If I change this one to a restricted part, a restricted access, when I click share, it will ask you for the account or the person's email address or the PTC username in this case need to be actually authenticate when they actually check the experience. Okay, so you can see yesterday for my demo I used support@leappost.com.au, so it's to remembering that, and I can actually send that experience to that email or the user. Okay, you can also directly scan QR code from here. You can download the QR code. Okay, or you can actually copy that link and then you can manually generate. You can actually create the link, or all you need to do is send that one as an email. Okay. So also we can do it with the public. In that particular case, you can anyone who actually receive that QR code or anyone who actually getting that email can actually access your AR experience. Okay. But again, the same thing. You can actually publish. You can put an email address here, or this is a username, and then you can send that into the email. The system will automatically send that from here and email to the recipient. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is quickly I will scan it directly from here. So let me
Scan as well.
I'll scan it first.
Try to get to inception here.
Yeah. So that same model which I just published here. So here we go. We got that model here to generate that model. Again, you can actually go and look around. You can actually spin around. It actually also comes with this mouse hand gestures here. So you can see if somebody don't know what needs to be done, you can actually, it explains what needs to be done here. For example, I can actually use the 2 fingers to rotate. Okay. You can actually spin around that model. Okay. You can actually zoom into and see the details here. Okay. And you can see how quickly I created that AR experience to share to anyone in the industry. Okay. So that's from me. Okay, thank you. And I will hand it.
Any questions?
Any questions?
It's really a way of having say a suitcase where it's closed and open where they can actually interact with it. So, so basically the Creo, the AR design shared publishing is whatever you have on the screen, that's what it publishes. So you need to have one experience with it closed and another experience with it open. Okay, if you want to have one where you could have animation or turning things on or off or anything like that, then you need to be looking at Euphoria Studio for that. So essentially, this is the gateway drug to Studio from PTC to get it on AR. Okay, so great for that one. It's pretty much like if your model was exploded and you published it that way, it'll be exploded when you do it in AR, and you can't change it. And you can publish exploded models.
You can, yeah. It's literally whatever's on the screen. So you can do a simplified rep, whatever you like that. But yeah, it's basically it's only the model as is on the screen. That's what you'll get. So you need to publish multiple. So as Tony pointed out, there's now 10 experiences rather than 5. Probably the biggest one I think is the ability to control access to that, because that was the old version. It was always public. Right, so if you send that to a customer with something you're doing with them, if anyone else got a hold of it, they can look at it. Okay, so now you can control access. You can delete it if you finish with it as well. So that essentially that's always been available, but you have to buy the individual license. Now they're giving that to everyone for free. So
clients get to that agency when you say it's available to the public.
Yeah, so in this it's not essentially now. So that change actually happened. I think 3 weeks ago. Basically, we were getting really nervous. We want to show off a conversion that hadn't updated the server. So it happened on the Friday week before Converge started. So if you haven't looked at the AR recently, if you go back in there, it'll update automatically. Okay.
And basic account has access to 10, or you have to be a licensed account?
Should be 10 for everybody. Not tried it with a basic account. I know basic accounts could always publish AR. Because we've tried that out with some of the.
It is 10. I tested.
Or the basic?
Yeah, basic.
Okay,
Is 10.
basic.
Anyone, any user, any users. Okay.
Yeah.
So your licensed user wouldn't get any extra? Just 10 for basic?
Still just 10.
It's just the same. Yeah.
If you need more than 10, there is, well actually no, if you need more than just 10 experiences, there is, Taj did mention, there is a license that you can purchase, which is
a premium
premium one, which gets you 50.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they can be stacked as well if you need more than that.
And that's one-off or annual license?
Annual subscription. Yeah. Everything's subscription now, but I'll talk about that in the next session.
Yeah.
And when you send the email, you still include links for the
That's something I haven't shown.
Yeah, so the email includes the links to the stores to download the app, the instructions on what you've got to do, the QR codes attached. The whole process is much simpler and much nicer now. Okay.
Give me
There's this cable here.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, plugged.
Yeah, I'll find it.
Good.
here's
That's not.
yeah. Here's the email that it generates. Okay, so basically it's got the instructions. There's the link to download the app out of the App Store as well. Launch the experience, the QR code. Got the option of attaching that. I think is that correct, Taji? Or did you manually attach the QR code?
This one I manually attached
Okay,
because I
alright.
want to.
So normally it's like if you do that on your mobile device, you click the link and it will.
No, it automatically attached. In this particular case, both I actually share that with Alan, but for the one, it actually automatically attached the QR code. It generated and automatically attached it.
Okay. So yeah, the whole process has been much more streamlined now. Yeah, much nicer. Okay.